and we're back with a bang in a brand new refurbished studio and a brand new logo, a brand new brand. Yes, my name's Miss Newlove, and I'd like to welcome you all once again. I'm your host. I have two amazing women in the studio today. We've got a different look to the show. We're going to have a bit of an interactive show today, so please feel free to, comment, ask questions. I'm going to be on my phone. I'm going to be reading everything. I'm going to be acknowledging you guys this time. I know I hardly used to do that, but today we're going to be acknowledging you guys. I would like to say a big thank you to Omega House Multimedia Company, who are the sponsors, the main sponsors of my show, GoalDiggers, and the main sponsors of Omega Live TV. And as I said before, we have two guests in the studio, but before we start speaking to them, I would also like to say a big thank you to my sponsor who makes these amazing apparel clothing underwear. She's called Sika Clothing, and she's in Ghana. So yes, we're back, and the topic today is life during lockdown, life during and after lockdown. So the whole week we've had a few shows focusing on COVID-19 and lockdown. We've had the health show, which focused on the health side and signs and symptoms of COVID-19. We also had the political show, which focused on the economy, how COVID-19 has affected the economy in Ghana and the UK. And we also had our gospel shows last week, Thursday, which focused on how COVID-19 has impacted Christianity and, the church. So today it's going to be very, light-hearted. We're not going to go into statistics and stuff, but we're going to focus on how COVID has affected us as people, as Black people, as women, mothers, fathers, professionals, entrepreneurs, the average, people at home. That's what we're going to be discussing today. And we're going to be speaking to two professionals. We have Jumi Hussein, who is a therapeutic practitioner and Jackie Obeng, who is an educator and the founder of BASE. So welcome, ladies.
Thank you for
As you
having
can
us.
see, guys, it's been a while, so I'm getting into it. I'm very sorry for the slowness. But yes, as I said, we have Mrs. Jumi Hussein,
That's right.
and we have Jackie Obeng. Welcome, ladies. Thank you
Thank you for
being my
having us.
guest.
Thank you for having us.
So today we're going to have a very interesting conversation, aren't we?
We are.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Of course.
And don't forget to share this, guys, with everybody. Share, and don't forget to hit that like button. We're live right here on Facebook and also live on YouTube. So, guys, we're here. 3 month.
Well done. It looks lovely in here, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really
it does,
nice.
doesn't it?
Fabulous.
Really
We've got
nice.
2 studios now, Studio 1, Studio 2.
Yeah.
The last time I was here was only Studio 1.
Yeah, so 3 months we've been in lockdown, and we're now, coming out of the lockdown. And it's time to start discussing how, COVID-19 has affected us.
Yeah.
So what was your initial thoughts, Jumi, when you heard about COVID-19, the disease? Not the disease,
The
the
virus.
virus.
Right.
What was your
My
initial thoughts on COVID-19?
I kind of, I'm a bit of a conspiracy theory kind of person. So when I first heard, it was like, there's more to this. There's, that's my attitude. I was like, there's more to this. There's more to this. I never ever doubted that the virus existed and it was real, but I was very cautious about the whole thing. I was just kind of like, what is really going on here? And then soon after that, the lockdown actually happened. And that's when it hit me like, whoa, this is actually real. And, when you would go out and you would see the streets were bare, it was like, okay, this is actually happening.
So when did you actually hear about the virus?
Okay, so I heard about it initially in February.
Okay.
Right. I run a staffing solutions company called JB Events as well.
Okay.
So some of my clients had started getting a bit cautious about this virus, and I was kind of like, no, don't worry, don't be silly, it's going to be okay.
That was me.
You know, like, no, people were like saying to me things like, oh, we might have to cancel out. And I was like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
Literally, I just didn't think that it was real
Yes.
in that sense. And then we had a big event on the weekend in March where we done a taster event.
Okay.
And it went really, really well. We got lots of bookings. And then the week after, everything was locked down.
Wow.
Yeah, because I had an event at Barclays. I planned to do a Mother's Day event. And like 4 days before, they emailed me and said, sorry, we have to cancel the event. And I still didn't. I was like, why is everyone taking this lockdown thing so seriously?
Yeah.
Like, is it that serious?
Exactly.
Yeah. Is it that deep?
I'm
you know?
telling you.
I was still in denial. So Jackie, what about you?
Well, initially, I heard about, obviously, the virus last week in February.
Okay.
When, obviously, there was all these issues in central London about, obviously, the Chinese people wearing the mask. And, obviously, you know, people are attacking them. And I'm thinking, what's going on? Oh, my goodness. So, in schools, now these young Chinese kids were being, you know, abused and, you know, sort of being picked on, that sort of thing. So
it started because there was a bit of bullying in America. I remember I heard about it on the news.
Yeah.
You know, Chinese people were getting abused and stuff like that.
Yeah, the initial concerns were, you know, these kids being, you know, affected because obviously they're walking in groups. We were fearful. There was a bit of staff were off, to be quite honest, in February, because around that time there were school trips going on. There were kids in Italy, in Spain, those that went to the Alps. So, you know, there was a lot of people out of school at that time. So the concerns were they're coming back, they probably will bring the virus and all these, you know, rumors going around that so-and-so child has received it. So it was a bit of a, you know, concern for me. And also in the classroom, because a lot of kids were off. And also, you know, the numbers were going down.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying they have symptoms.
That's it.
Even in the workplaces. And I think a lot of people were scared as well.
Yeah, and also Boris was giving all these daily briefings, which were keeping us informed that, you know, we should like remain calm, you know, we're going to deal with it, that sort of thing. And therefore, eventually the head teacher said, you know, there's going to be a shutdown, which obviously made a lot of sense. So the concerns were, are these kids coming back? You know, how are we going to protect ourselves? There were a number of kids out of school, loads of staff were off as well. And that's when it hit me. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, you know, there's going to be a lockdown, really. Yeah.
So that's when it hit you?
That's when it hit me.
And you said it hit you when your clients started getting worried.
When they actually started cancelling and postponing and, you know.
And obviously, because your company is an events company, how did you feel about that? Because you make money from doing events. And I'm sure you had plans for the whole year. Definitely. You know, like, I'm going to do this event this time, that time.
We were booked all the way till November. Booked all the way till November with not just one event a day. Some were up to 10 events a day. So it hit us really, really hard. Really hard. And initially I was kind of like, how are we going to survive? Do you know what I mean? Like this is my livelihood. This is what I do day in, day out. I don't have that. This is me. You know, I don't have no other money coming in anywhere. So it's like, okay. So it was really hard.
Just to let our viewers know, what exactly do you do?
Okay. So I call myself a social entrepreneur. The reason why I give myself that label is because every single company that I run, it's about society and it's about giving back to the community. So I run a staffing solutions agency, which is predominantly to employ young black young people in the community to get them into employment. So that's the moral of it. That's how it started, and that's what it's about. So we started with only about 7, which was my daughter and her friends actually when we started, and up to today we've got at least about 140 young people that work with us.
Wow, that's amazing.
So it really took off. So what we do is we provide staff for weddings, so caterers. We work with a number of caterers. If you need brand ambassadors, we can provide that for you as well. If you need somebody to just model, you know, not really model,
so it's
but
quite a bit like
Yeah, so it's manpower. So we
yes.
just give you what you need,
Okay.
basically. with
And you're
regards
also
to-
a therapist.
I am. So I'm an independent therapist as well, a systemic therapist. That's quite different. Systemic therapist. The reason it's quite different is because of the way that we conduct the therapy.
Okay.
So it comes from an ethos of we're not really the experts.
Okay.
We work with you to kind of dig and find out what's going on, to
Okay.
find the solution together. Does that make sense? Rather than me saying you have bipolar or you have, I don't diagnose anybody
Okay.
with anything. We just kind of dig deep, find out the root of the issues,
Okay.
and then we find solutions together.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you refer.
Yes, no. I do the work.
You do the work.
I do the work,
Uh-huh.
but what I'm saying is that I don't diagnose. Does that make sense? So I do
Yes.
the work in a sense of I will put plans together with you.
Okay.
We will put solutions together with you. We will talk about how to deal with situations.
Okay.
If you have something that triggers you, like for example, a lot of people have had trauma. So early childhood trauma. It could be this color that triggers the person. Funny
Yes.
enough, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
And then we help find out how, because you're going to be around this color.
Yes.
So how do you deal with that?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between a therapist and a counselor?
Oh, people ask me this all of the time. And I don't know if I'm right, but my understanding and the reason I went for therapy rather than counseling is because counseling's a bit feely. So it's very much about how do you feel about that? And how does that make you feel?
Basically, you're just asking the person questions.
Yeah.
They're literally giving their self therapy.
Exactly.
They're talking to their self, and you're just saying, okay, so how does that make you feel?
And
Yeah.
for me, it was kind of like antagonizing. I didn't want to be that kind of person. Whereas therapy, we can go up, we can go high, we can go low, we can cry together, we can hug, we can, it's
Yes.
more personal. So that's why I decided to go more into the therapy than the counseling.
Okay, and how long have you been a therapist?
Okay, so I actually used to work for this borough, Waltham Forest,
Okay.
as a systemic family therapist.
Okay.
So that's when it really started. So I would say about 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So Jackie, you are a teacher.
Yeah.
Business and economics.
Business and economics.
So for you, obviously, when the lockdown happened, you had to start working from home. You had to change your pace of working. How did you feel?
Oh my goodness.
And how did you transition? How was it for you?
Initially, it was a bit difficult because most kids had not had the grasp to do work online. Obviously, with Google Classroom,
Yeah.
the Zoom.
I'd never heard of it. to be
Yeah,
honest,
until all of this
Yeah,
lockdown came to
yeah.
play. But as teachers, some of us were aware with the application because it's been set as homework.
Okay.
Yeah, on a weekly basis. So we were used to obviously the application or the
Yes.
distance learning,
Yes.
so to speak. But then initially it was trying to chase kids up to do the work. So we thought, okay, we're going to post the work, give them a couple of days, and
Yes.
then obviously get the work to market and then give them feedback.
What's the age group you work with?
Oh, so my age group, the economics and the business studies is A level, year 12 and year 13.
Okay.
And the business studies is from year 9, so year 9, 10 and 11.
Okay, so you
So-
teach across.
So across the secondary, these are optional subjects because
Yes.
obviously
GCSE.
7, 8 and 9, they've got their core
Yeah,
subjects.
mandatory,
Yeah, of course. So initially, actually, quite interesting, I started teaching computing. I did computing for about 10 years and then switched into economics and business studies. So I've been
Okay.
doing it for over 15 years now.
Okay.
In addition to that, I support Bestel and Child Psychiatric Foundation, which
Okay.
I'm a business communication analyst, where we obviously cater for the Ghanaian and the, I should say, BAME community, so that we can introduce the stigma of mental health.
Okay.
Yeah, and recently I've just started become a successful entrepreneur, where it's like similar to yours, trying to mentor young people into setting up businesses. Because we've got loads of graduates within the community.
Yeah.
We've got school leavers, we've got small businesses, and obviously we want to make a change with the black community.
Yeah.
So I'm using my skills at school to mentor young people into businesses. So in March, it took a while for the kids to get used to distance learning.
Yes.
So the last 2 weeks in March was very slow, and then in April we got access to Sims, where we've got all the kids' data with the parents'
Okay,
data
yeah.
information. So we have to call the kids.
Yes.
So I've done a lot of calls. In the house.
I get those phone calls. Do you
get those calls? Oh, it's so interesting. I'll ring one mother and, oh my goodness, oh my God, my kid is not sleeping. And then I start to laugh in the living room and I'm thinking, I'm tired myself. And I'll say, really? She went, oh yeah. They're sleeping during the day and they're up all night.
You know what? I have that issue as well.
Yeah.
Do you have that with any of your children?
It started like that, but me and Daddy weren't having it. I was just like, this ain't gonna happen, because if not, they just sleep all day long. You know, sometimes I do give them a day off though.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, well, you
Because
have to.
I need the day off as well.
Well, surprisingly, I'm normally an early riser. I'm up by 5:30 in the morning. Even though I must admit, the last 2 weeks in March, I did do a lot of sleeping. You know, I was exhausted, to be quite honest. And then in April, we had the Easter holidays as well. So the first 2 weeks was back to learning, but then the last 2 weeks in April was Easter holidays. So we gave them a break within that April 2 weeks. And then the first 2 weeks, obviously, we were onto them for them to get the work done. But I had to set myself, you know, shower and get ready, you know, by 9 o'clock, just in case the kids are up. So every 9 o'clock, I'm in front of my PC, checking who's done the work. Then I'll give them time to 11, because I know the kids do not get up early. So from 11 o'clock, I'm on my phone. Excuse me, this work hasn't been done. Why haven't? Oh, miss, I couldn't get to the Google Class. I said, get on now.
Did you do Zooms? Because my daughter had Zoom classes, and I was quite surprised. I was like, you know, because she's in sixth form.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
So due to obviously the data protection in that sort of act, you know, with the young ones, we won't be doing Zoom. It's only with the A level lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So obviously, if we do need to do a class chat sort of thing, you know, then we have to do the Zoom. But with the year 10s and the year 9s, no, we just post it and just give them a call.
Yeah, because I noticed that, like with my son, it was just phone calls.
Yeah.
And then with my daughter, it was phone calls and Zoom.
Yeah.
Did you?
My son, he's 9 and he's had a couple of Zoom meetings.
Oh, interesting.
Really?
Yeah, he has, with his class. Because the teacher was a bit concerned that they were missing their friends. So what she done is she organised 2 separate like Zoom meetings. One for the group of girls and one for the group of boys.
Yeah.
I think it was really, really nice actually.
Okay, yeah, it's
because you know they got the when they saw each other, it was like, oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was like they needed,
You have no idea, they
really
do.
needed
They
that.
do. They really do.
So yeah, I was completely in support of it, because he was beaming. He was so happy to see his friends.
Okay, guys, if you've just joined us in the we're in the studio with Mrs. Jumi Hussein, who is a therapist practitioner, and she's also a social entrepreneur and an author. We're going to talk about her book later on in the show. And we're also joined with Jackie Obeng, who is a teacher. She teaches business and economics in secondary school, and she's also the founder of BASE. She's also going to go into details about BASE later on. Don't forget to share this program with everyone. It's very important, because we're sharing, you know, our personal journey through the lockdown, and we're going to be discussing how we're going to get back into our normal routines as the lockdown has been lifted. So Jumi, Jumi's on her phone.
I was trying to share it, but I couldn't find the button.
Don't worry. So in terms of homeschooling, how have you found it?
Oh my gosh.
Because I know there's a lot of viewers, even myself, my friends, people that I know, you know, we've struggled in the beginning in terms of homeschooling.
Can I tell you a real life situation?
And it's not actually homeschooling, because I spoke to a friend of mine who actually does homeschool her children. And she was like, listen, what you guys are doing is not homeschooling. You're actually just assisting your children. You know, because homeschooling is like, you get up, like Jackie said, you're up by 9 like school, and you're doing lessons, like 2 lessons before lunch, then it's lunchtime. After lunchtime, you're back at the table. And I was like, I'm not doing that. She goes, you're not homeschooling.
But that's what I was trying to do.
I think a lot
And
of
I think
people
that's
were.
where I put so much pressure on myself. Because I done a timetable for them that included lunchtime, break time, PE,
Oh my goodness, yeah.
PE, art and crafts,
Yeah.
literally history. I was so adventurous and ambitious in the beginning. I had this full timetable.
How long
Within
was
the first week.
Oh,
It was, do you know what it was? It was because I'm working from home as well. So I'm trying to do my work as well. And I'm hearing, mummy, mummy, mummy. It just became a lot. And I tell you something, I've got a newfound respect for teachers. I
Me
really
too.
honestly do, because it's
Nurses,
a lot of work.
doctors. I mean, people that work for the NHS. We all have a lot of.
So much
If we
respect
start
for
talking
them.
about that, that's just going to take us somewhere else.
Honestly.
But teachers, I respect the job that they do.
Oh,
I mean,
goodness.
anybody in education.
Yeah,
it's
Like
really
I said,
hard work.
It is
To be
hard
quite
work.
honest, the first week we came home, remember, there was this WhatsApp circulating about, oh, teachers, well done, blah, 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 blah. And
yeah.
it is a lot of work
is,
because being with these kids, you know, the whole day, it's a headache. I'm sorry to say. It is.
No, you don't need to apologize.
I'm so sorry. They're really lovely, a lot and lovely, but there's a few who gives you a headache.
Yeah,
You see?
definitely.
And that's why I understand why the school day is designed like that.
the
2
way it
hours and a
is.
half a break.
Yeah.
2 hours and another break, because you cannot be teaching a child 3 hours with this mini disruption in the classroom. Stop this. Excuse me, sit down.
That's how it
Oh, no,
is.
no, you can't go toilet now. Go back. You know, whilst everything is flowing, you've got all these disruptions happening.
yeah.
It is a lot of work.
And they keep trying to get out of things. My boys kept on trying to get out of things through conversations with each other. And then they'd say, oh, mum, but we can talk. No.
So you was trying to be the teacher.
I was trying to be the teacher. And they literally said to me one day, they was like, Mum, you're a rubbish teacher. I was like, I don't care. Let me be rubbish. Put your head down and do your work.
It's hard work. There was a lady on as a Facebook friend. I saw her while she was doing her homeschooling. She actually put the kids in uniform during lockdown.
A lot of people did
Yeah,
that.
so
A
they
lot
got
of
up in
people
the
did that.
morning, they sat around the dining table with their laptops, with school uniform. And I thought that was really, really creative. I love that. Because the uniform puts you in a
them in
different
that mode.
mindset.
Definitely.
That it
That's
motivates you to do a lot of work.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So Jackie, you teach business and economics as an educator. The lockdown affected the economy in so many different ways, and
goodness,
different
yes.
industry sectors that we wouldn't have even imagined that they would affect, like aviation. Look what's happening now in terms of the aviation
Of
industry.
course.
Retail has been hit. Like today, I went after work to try and get this vest, and there were so many shops that were closed. It made me feel sad. I was like, people's businesses, like, you know, I was like, wow, like literally the only shop that was open was, you know, Primark and the perfume shop. The rest were just all, and I was like, you know, this thing is really, because it's the first time I've personally been out to buy anything.
Right.
So I hadn't been on a high street. You know, I've been ordering online the whole 3 months.
Good.
You know, so today I was like, wow, this thing's serious. So it's hit aviation so bad. That's just a different conversation. It's hit retail so bad. And obviously education as well, and hospitality. Hospitality is just...
we got it bad.
Yeah, hospitality services. But education, you know, people don't realize education is also a business.
It is.
So how has it affected the education?
It has massively affected us, especially the kids. I feel so sorry for the kids in terms of the curriculum content. Because we only started the new academic year in September. So it's September to December, and in March, 6 months into it. I was lucky enough with my year 13s, we covered most of our curriculum because the way I teach is I make sure I go through them quickly and then come back to start again, just in case some of them, there's some loopholes where they didn't understand it. The same with my year 11s as well. So in that aspect, I was very lucky. But subject like history, geography, the curriculum is so huge, they haven't even gone to the quarter of it. So say for instance the year 11 or year 13's got to do that exam, it's a total loss. They've just lost that whole chunk of information
I mean,
there.
with my daughter, she couldn't do. She was redoing her GCSE maths, so obviously she couldn't do the retake, and they just marked her on her.
I was going to say
Her
that
last-
one, her last one.
And she didn't do that great, and she was really
Yes,
worried.
Really, yeah.
you
A lot of
know.
kids were concerned
Yeah.
because what's happening in school is every 6 weeks we'll have an assessment, like a huge assessment. So maybe 4 weeks will be homework, then assessment, then homework, then assessment, and so on and so forth. And then probably we'll take the predicted grades. So some kids do not take homework seriously.
Yeah.
They haven't got the time to sit
Yeah.
down an hour to complete it
Absolutely.
in detail.
Did you ever take homework
Do you know,
seriously?
do you know what? This is what I was about to say. My predicted grades was terrible.
Listen,
It was, listen, my mum looked at it and she sobbed. Should I take you back to Nigeria? Do you know what I mean? But then when I done
Yeah.
my GCSEs,
But then
I
you
done
had the
really,
chance to
really
do it.
well.
And that's
so
the
those
difference.
people that was in that situation, I really felt sorry for
Yeah.
them. Because if that was
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
that was it.
That's it. So
And sometimes predicted grades, sorry, I don't want to
No,
get
no,
onto
it's
teachers,
okay.
but some teachers predict you based on your behavior.
Very-
I wasn't the best behaved child.
no, I don't think so.
Okay.
How was that? Why would they do that? Because there is a behavior for learning column. It never affects the
The
actual.
actual grade.
No,
Maybe
it
this is
doesn't.
years ago because I know mine was definitely based
because
on my behavior.
sometimes kids' behavior for learning do affect their target grades because they're not focused enough to get the
Yes.
good grade.
Right.
So that
Yeah,
is
of
there.
course,
but I
that
don't think a
correlation.
teacher will,
But don't you-
specifically pick
I did. I
on a
got that.
behavior. No,
But don't
no,
you
the teacher
think-
didn't.
That was years ago.
No,
I
the
did.
teacher didn't.
I did. Because they even wrote it in there. She would do better if she behaved.
well, she talks too much.
Oh, she
Mine was
talks
she
too
talks so much.
I don't, to be quite honest, because I know their ability. Because you've been with a child at least a year, you know what they're
Yeah.
capable of. Sometimes their behavior is so annoying. So our parents even have said, you know what? He's a really good boy. He can do it. He's a 7, he's a 6, or he's a 9. However, his behavior is horrible. He's always in detention. I have to send him out. You know, he's losing learning.
Yes.
So how can we help you for you to behave? Or, we'll shift you around in a classroom, probably put you at the back so you don't disturb a lot more, that sort of thing. But we lost a lot of teacher time in terms of planning. The
I mean,
kids-
did a lot of teachers resign? Because I know a lot of teachers were having symptoms in my son's school.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where they kind of stopped the classes because a lot of teachers went sick.
They were sick. In terms of resigning, I'm not sure now because we haven't gone back. But obviously, due to mental health issues,
Yes.
people decide to change,
Yeah.
obviously the ways of working. There will be a lot more digital learning because now we know
Yes,
we're
'cause
able
Word,
to use it.
yeah.
Even the
Word,
GPs are using it
yeah,
now.
Yeah.
So there will be a lot of that. Like now, because obviously we're going to be in school to the next 2 weeks, not a lot of teachers are back. Me, for example, I'm doing a lot of distance learning online.
Okay.
Come September, if the numbers are still high or low or whatever, if all the kids can't go back, it will carry on.
It will
So-
carry on this way.
It will, depending on the outcome from the
Yeah,
scientists,
from the
obviously.
science.
Boris
Okay.
will tell us the update.
Yeah.
But at this moment, they're trying to enforce, kids back to school. Now, the last week we had the year 10s back.
Yes.
But I wasn't in school. But the vulnerable kids, obviously the frontliner kids are
Yes.
there,
Uh-huh.
and a couple of year 10s, but not all kids are back. It's only kids.
And is
who-
every school different? Because with my son's school,
Yeah.
they haven't called them back, but they're doing these well-being classes, which I don't understand. Well, I kind of understand it, but I mean, it's just each year group per week. So it's like kind
Oh, to
of finding
prepare
out,
them?
Yeah.
prepare
Kind
them
of,
for
yeah,
autumn.
for
So what's happened is most schools have done a risk assessment, and obviously they're being supported by the local governors
Okay.
of the school. So maybe due to capacity reasons, that's
Okay.
why the entire class have not come back. So
Okay.
for us, for instance, the year 10 is only a few, probably 30, 40
Okay.
kids. So they will have to proportionate to the number of teachers that are within that week. And also they're enforcing social distancing. So for instance, the teacher will probably have 5 or 4 kids
Okay.
in a huge classroom, separate them, use all these hand sanitizers and wipes. But for some reason in schools, they're not using the face mask.
The face mask.
Because of the hand sanitizers and the wipes that they're using, cleaning the desks. So that's what they're using at the moment. But by September, majority of kids will be going back. But I will enforce it because it's not that dangerous. Because when I went in May, I was really scared because I went in with my mask because at that time it was really high.
Quite,
yeah, but then the year 10s had not been in, the year 12s were not in.
Okay.
It was only the vulnerable kids.
So personally, how do you feel about the whole taking kids back, kids going back to school
Initially.
and then them practicing social distancing? I
distancing.
mean, realistically, how can you practice social distancing in these type of environments? I don't.
It's difficult because if I had young kids,
Yes.
I probably wouldn't send my child back now if that's my, because my last child is my last child is 14, so I probably was speaking for the nursery or the year one
I didn't
reception,
understand
And it looks so sad.
It
like,
is,
it
like
is,
you see them,
because
they've scattered
I
them
was
around
worried
the
about
room.
their emotional and mental
Yeah.
but however,
well-being.
when you go into the school, your mind will change. It will change because you will tell that okay, the teachers are enforcing social distancing. Because when I wasn't there, I thought, oh, no, I wouldn't take my child to school. Oh, but when I went in,
And you saw.
they're really enforcing the social distancing. So, for instance, in the playground, there will be about 3 supervisors there. So their staff. They're ensuring that kids are segregating. So obviously they're not hugging, or if they're playing, they're not that too close. So they're always giving them the warning. So with that aspect, I think
it's
is
quite
safe.
sad for the younger
Safe for the
ones,
kids
though.
to
Like,
go.
and I know my son, for example, he's very tactile. So
Yeah.
he's a hugger, and he's a, if someone's crying, he comforts them, and he's very much like that. So I know that you saying to him, "Don't hug her, Josiah," or "Don't," that would be a lot for him. So that was one of the reasons I chose to keep him home, because it was I would rather just not put him through that emotional. And I think these things as well, you just have to know your children. Some children are naturally a lot more resilient than others. Some children would be able to get on with that situation. It is what it is, let's do it. Other kids won't. So it's really very much about you looking at your child and deciding, okay, I'm having a conversation with your child about it as well. I think that's really important.
Really important, yeah.
So during the lockdown, we had Mental Health Week, which I think gave everyone an opportunity to express how they were feeling. Everyone was vulnerable. I mean, on social media, people were being so open about how they were feeling. I think, people in general were open about being depressed and, people with mental health issues. It was, things were flaring up. As a therapist, how did you take mental Awareness Week, and did you see an increase in your conversations with clients or with people in general?
I've seen an increase in general since COVID-19, and that's the truth. I think also, just something I need to point out, I don't think it's all to do with COVID-19. I think what has happened is that the time, the space has been allowed for people to reflect.
Yes.
So the time has given a lot of people time to really search and dig and think to themselves, no, actually, I've got this problem. I've got that problem.
The things that we were sweeping under the carpet because we were so busy.
Absolutely. The
And
things
do this
that
busy
whilst you're
lifestyle.
in the office, it's just at the back of
I'll
your mind.
I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow.
Exactly.
I'll do it tomorrow.
You know
you're not okay, but I'll just shift it. I'll deal with it tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Your finances, your personal, everything. It's just like because of
Tomorrow.
work.
And actually, work acted as a protection,
Exactly.
so to speak. It meant that you didn't have to deal with those things. So
Yes.
I think the increase really came from the time. People had the time, and they
Yes.
could not run away from themselves.
Good.
They couldn't run away from
Really
themselves.
enjoying the
Yes.
moment.
So they had to kind of just, some of the phone calls that I would get from people was just that, I just need someone to talk to. This happened 10 years ago. I've never ever dealt with it. I need to deal with it now. So
Okay.
those were the kind of calls that I was having. And do you know what I was going to say as well, when you mentioned the word vulnerability? That word is something that I really love about COVID-19. And it sounds funny, but I think that it has given the people the chance and the freedom to be vulnerable, because everyone was coming out and saying the same thing. So your weaknesses didn't really look like weaknesses no more, because we
That's
were
it.
all in the
We
same
were all-
boat.
We were all depressed. we were all
Everyone was like, trauma is a very serious thing. I don't want to play with it, but a lot of people realized that they were traumatized from things from their past that they had swept under the carpet.
Of course.
A lot of things myself creeped up, you know, like, because like you said, we had the time.
Yeah.
So I just want to acknowledge some people that are watching. I'm very bad with pronunciation, so please, if I pronounce your name wrong, I just want to, so we have quite a lot of people watching. We have Latoya Bobe, and she said homeschooling in their uniform, that's a good idea. It's literally, well, yeah, you can still do it, Latoya, because your children are quite young, so yeah. That is a good idea, actually. Oscar Renter says, good work, Eva. Thank you. Aradra, who's our host for our gossip show on Fridays, yes, is watching. She said, you're looking lovely, Eve. Guys, I want you to ask questions. Don't tell me. I want you to ask my guests some questions. Yeah. We have a lot of people watching. We have Rosemary, who says, well done, Jackie Obeng.
Oh.
I don't want to pronounce your surname wrong.
Is your Buba?
Yes.
I knew it was a Buba.
So yeah, we do have a lot of people
Hey,
watching.
Rosemary Buba.
Jennifer says, greetings to you all. Yes, Jennifer. Hi. And I'm still waiting to have your daughter, DJ Zell, is it, on the show? So don't forget to contact me. And guys, if you would like to sponsor or advertise on any of our shows, well, on my show in particular, email me at goaldiggersonline@gmail.com. So yeah, Jimmy, what was we talking about? I was talking about mental health, wasn't we? And how mental health awareness week happened, you know, kind of around the beginning of the lockdown, and how a lot of people, especially in our community, you know, started to open up about their mental health issues. And people think mental health is just bipolar or paranoid schizophrenia. Or, you know, there's different spectrums to the, you know, to mental health, and depression is classed as having a mental health.
Absolutely.
So
anger
and stress.
Yes, stress is
you know, mental health. Anything that affects you mentally is a mental health issue, guys. So you know, you need to check yourself. Check yourself.
Because we all have mental health.
We do.
And that's the thing.
And that's,
you know, it's just on different levels. And also it's very much about coping mechanisms. People, we need to find coping mechanisms. And I think that's something that we lack a lot in our community, because we are told we are strong. And we are strong, but we bend, we feel, we hurt as well. So it's one of those things that, okay, don't let my strength become my weakness. Do you know what I mean? And actually, how much can I endure? How much do I need to endure? Do I really need to endure that? Do you know what I mean? Because I think sometimes we're enduring things we don't really need to endure.
I'm telling you.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Definitely. I can definitely relate to that. And during this season, I even said to myself, you know, there's some things that I'm not going to allow myself to endure anymore. I'm not having it.
That's right.
You know, because sometimes we take on too much, and you're one person. You're a mother. You know, you're a businesswoman. You're a TV presenter. Trying to be
everything.
You know, you're trying to be the people's person. You're trying to help people. You're helping your mum. You're helping your dad.
Family members.
I mean, but who's helping me?
No.
Do you understand? So you have to, you know, I definitely did a lot of reflecting. I still am.
I love it.
But it's in a positive way, even though a lot of sad things have happened. You know, we've lost people in our community. I lost a friend, 2 friends.
Wow.
But then at the same time, you know, I realized I have life. And I have to really enjoy and make the most out of my life.
You've got kids.
And I really have to go for those goals. You know, like
the goals that serve you.
Exactly.
You know, not the goals that serve others. You know what I mean? Or the goals that you think you need to go for. The goals that actually serve you. And that's why I always encourage people to look inwards. An analogy I always give to people is sometimes, you know, if I threw hot coal at you, what would you do? If it was like a round ball, and I threw it and you caught it.
I caught it. It would be hot. It would burn me. I'd scream. I'd jump.
You would be doing this, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But what we really need to do is throw it to the floor, because it's not ours. But what a lot of us are doing is with hot coal it's burning our hands. It's not ours to carry. You need to just throw it down. It doesn't belong to you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's so crazy how so many of us don't realize we're juggling hot coal that does not belong to us.
Yeah.
It doesn't belong to you. It doesn't serve you.
Yeah.
Throw it down, let go of it. Do you know what I mean? And that's what has come out for a lot of people in this COVID-19. This is not my burden. Why am I carrying it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
a lot's happened.
I could see you going into your
Yeah.
My therapist knows. I'm sorry.
And also spending
Sorry.
time with the kids, you know, getting to know them.
yeah.
Because we used to get up early in the morning and just shoot off.
Yeah.
And bye, and that's it. You know, I've just learned
How's
that.
it been for you, Jack?
Oh my
Because
goodness.
you're the teacher, always out of the house. I mean, I was always out of the house. I'm sure you were always out of the
Yes.
house. But how's it been like reconnecting with your children and getting to know
It's
them
been
again?
really rewarding, I should say.
Yeah.
Because you don't see them. But then my first child is at uni, so at that time she wasn't there.
Okay.
And it's only the little one that was with me. So, you know, bonding with him, getting to know, you know, what he likes, that sort of thing. It was really rewarding for me. Sometimes I thought, oh my goodness, we get up in the morning and rush off. We don't see what
Yeah.
you lose. And you're with another child, trying to, you know, teach them, get them to be in order, but then, in other words, you sort of neglected your own child. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So being home, it's a different,
A lot of, I
different
think
feeling.
a few people felt like that,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and guilty as well. I felt a bit guilty sometimes, like, wow, I really haven't
Yeah.
taken time. Not that I don't know my children, I do, but I realized I didn't really, especially my daughter, you know, I've really bonded with her.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
She's really good.
And I get so excited that I just even posted on Facebook, like she was cooking for me.
Oh, nice.
You know, and asking me, how do you feel? Are you okay? Like, they're really
okay.
attentive.
Yeah, they're
And I was
caring.
like, my children are so caring. I never saw that side to them
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
You know, I really
So
appreciate
what are
them.
you gonna do? And I know you're the host, so I shouldn't be asking you questions. but what are you gonna do to ensure
So your clients
that
now,
continues? Because life is about to get back busy again. And this is what I want to say to you guys out there. Even though Boris has said his own, really take the time to reflect.
Yeah.
Slowly go back into this
Yeah.
thing, you know, because this time was given to us for a reason. Let's
yeah.
not just go back to this
Yeah.
fast-paced
No.
life. Please.
Yeah.
I mean, in
Just
terms
slow
of
things down.
Slow things down.
Yeah, in terms of reflection, I've done a lot of reflecting, and I've, you know, like you said, I've realized there's things I was carrying that I didn't need to carry, and I've really thrown them away. And I'm gonna, like, with my daughter, because she's a teenager, I'm gonna, like, make sure that I incorporate her in the things that I do.
Good.
Because I'm always like, stay home, stay home,
Yeah.
stay
She
home.
can come
But
with
she's
you.
actually 17 going at 18, so I'm gonna, you know, include her in the
love
things that I'm
it.
doing.
And what
Yeah.
you do.
And 2 days ago, she actually made me very emotional. She said, Mom, I want to be like you. Like, I want to be confident like
Yeah.
you. Teach me
Yeah.
how to be confident like you. And you
giving
seem
me
like you have,
chills.
and you seem like you have everything together. And I was like, I started crying
Oh.
because I was like, but I don't have everything together. You see me every day. I'm not together. So why are you telling me? And she goes, no, but you are.
You are.
You don't. You are. And then it made me realize that, you know, I'm a good mother.
Yes.
Because if I need to cry, I don't cry in front of them. I'll go behind closed doors. If, you know, I go and pray in silence. I don't, you know, I don't bring people. I'm a single mother, so I don't bring people into my home. I've made so many sacrifices, but I didn't realize that those sacrifices have actually paid off because my children respect me.
Yes.
Of course.
You understand? And I didn't realize how
You're a
much
hard
they
worker.
respected me,
Yeah,
and that
definitely.
they see the hard working.
Of
They
course.
see me coming here. They
Yeah.
see me
The
going to
confidence.
work. They see me trying to hustle.
Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
you don't realize they see all these things.
Yeah, oh, they
do.
do.
So for
They
her
do.
to open her mouth to tell me that, I was really like,
Wow.
like I'm a powerful woman.
superwoman.
Like, you know,
Yes,
I'm,
superwoman.
yeah, like
Own
I need
it.
to
Yeah.
and stop having these insecurities.
Yeah, definitely.
Because for your child to tell you that, you know, and the way they talk about me in the house is so funny, because sometimes I'm in the room and I can hear them talking and having conversations, and he's like, no, but you know, mummy, mummy's got fans, you know. And I'm just there and I pretend like, you know, and I feel so touched, like my son's talking about me like that.
Nice.
Because it could have went the other way,
Yeah,
you know.
easily as well.
So
Easily.
how has all this affected your own mentality? That's what I want to ask the both of you. Like, has it tested your own mental health?
Of course. As you said, everybody suffers from mental health, whether you know it or not. It is either could be an insecurity, a weakness, it could be anything. I became vulnerable in a bit when you're at home, not sure what you want to do. Even though I've got a
You're
job.
that boss lady, innit?
I know what to
now
do.
you're at home,
But then
you don't do
sometimes,
nothing.
I'm not doing anything. I'm like in the living room and go back upstairs and coming down thinking, whoa. It's really what's going on. Nowhere to go. In a way, I was excited because I was so tired. We had loads of funerals to attend to. You remember? And parties to go.
Yes.
But it gets to a point that you need to just chill. You need to come first. Is that party important for you to go? The makeup alone takes an hour and you're tired. True. So it has changed me a lot. I really need to scrutinize that invitation.
And as you asked me a question, like, how are we going to make sure that we continue to, the things that we've learned, how we could continue to make sure that we don't go back into that lifestyle. And we do include our children, and we do. It's all about balance, isn't it? How are we going to manage, continue this balanced lifestyle, Jackie?
It depends, though, really, of the household with the kids. If you've got little kids, then I would say probably spend a lot of time doing that communication. Continuing that walks, if the weather is good. Or games like.
The walks. I forgot to talk about.
I love the walks
with the kids.
My house is literally outside. The park is right there, and I didn't used to use the park. But the last month or 6 weeks, it's like my new bestie. We take clubs and we just go and sit there. I can do a huge walk around it twice, time myself. That I would like to continue. If it's cold, I'll try and get through that. Playing cards, Monopoly, not computer games, the old-fashioned sort of games. Try to, maintain that to keep my mental health safe. Do you see what I mean? So, avoiding the stress, the depression, So I'm hoping to keep that on.
Definitely.
What are you going to do?
I can see
She shouldn't be asking you.
You know what?
You need to answer that.
Do you know what?
Because I'm
gonna check myself.
You're a missus.
Yeah. I need what I need to do is check myself.
How?
So for me, one of the things that I've already started discussing with my children in particular is a keyword.
Oh, wow.
So when things are going back to normal or they're not happy with the way things is going, so maybe mummy is spending too much time at her events now, and there's a key word that puts me in check, and it's what we always decide is a word that's very random. So it gets your attention. So it could be pineapple.
And that's
Do you understand? You're thinking pineapple. Where did that come? Oh, okay. Do you know what I mean? A word that really, and that is something I would really encourage people to do, because we're gonna get back into it, and there's gonna be moments we're gonna just get back into this, but we need to check ourselves, and we need to put something in place that puts us in check.
And do you really want to get back into things? Like, honestly.
Do you know what? If I'm going to be honest with you, I don't.
Me neither.
That's the God's honest truth. I don't. And I am actually going to put some changes in place, because I don't really want to go back to that. I don't want to go back to that hustle and bustle and the, coming in at 2 a.m. from it. I don't want to do that. No.
I think if you monetize, if you start to monetize the things you do, like the things you're passionate about and the things that you, how can I say? I'm trying to think of how to word it. What I discovered is that if I put certain things in place, it will allow me to have that time. Because sometimes we waste time doing unnecessary things, and doing things strategically, which I started doing last year anyway, in terms of networking. Even I've lost friends along the way because I made the decision I'm not going out no more. Sorry, I'm not going to that funeral if I don't know the person. I'm not going to that party if I don't know the person.
You're right.
I'm not going out no more. So it's like, I realized, wow, all these people are not really my friends.
They're just party bodies. Party rider crew.
Do you understand?
So that's exactly my point.
So it's like
scrutinize all those invitations coming in.
Exactly. And in
so
terms
you can
of
save time with the kids.
Exactly. Because you can't go out every weekend.
No, you can't. I didn't know how I did it.
You can't go out
Honestly.
every weekend, and it doesn't matter if your
not
children
doing
are
it no
older
more.
too, because that's the time when you really need to be watching them
Yes.
as well, when they're turning into a teenager, when they are a teenager. And then when
definitely.
things start to happen, you don't understand.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have to blame us.
Yeah.
Definitely. Some parents don't know their kids. Like
I'm
their
telling you.
children literally have a double life. Like
I'm telling you.
their children are one person outside
Ah.
and a completely different child
Yes.
at home.
My
Like,
daughter showed me that, because me and my daughter are like this. So she tells me about her friends, and she has friends that put a change of clothes in their bag
Yeah.
when they leave the
Wow.
house.
Yeah.
definitely.
They put makeup on. So my daughter, you know what used to happen at my daughter's school? She went to a girls' school. They used to, at the door, they have baby wipes. And tell them to take all their makeup
take it
off,
all
because
Yeah.
there was a Catholic girls'
Yeah.
school,
Right.
because they will come to school with makeup,
Yeah, and then
or they'll
get
do the
them to
makeup
clean
on
it.
the way.
Yeah.
So at the door, the teachers have the baby wipes,
course.
and they have to take off and they had to pull their skirts down. Some of them, their skirts
Yeah.
will be
Yeah,
rolled up.
When they roll them up. 'Cause
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
school,
Yeah.
with my form year group, I've got a lower form year group. I said, excuse me, you roll them before you come into the classroom. Otherwise, it's detention straight away. And I just look left and I say,
Yeah.
but all miss, I said, no,
Yeah.
you take it off.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know why they pull it that above
Yeah.
the knee.
So a lot of parents, like you said, don't actually know their children.
Yeah.
You know, so guys, if you've just tuned in, we've been speaking to Jackie Obeng, who is a teacher. She teaches business and economics in a secondary school. She's also the founder of Base. We're going to go into that. I'm very excited because I love everything about entrepreneurship and business. And also we have Mrs. Jumi Hussein. He's a therapist practitioner. She's a social entrepreneur and an author, and she's written an amazing book. And as you've been watching, she's an amazing person, and I can see that she's a very good therapist, because I feel like this is a therapy. I feel like this is a therapy.
It is a session,
You know,
definitely.
I feel like we're actually having therapy here.
Sorry.
You can feel the energy here.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go back to people who are watching and try and find out if there's some interaction going on. Let's head back over to Omega Live TV. Internet slow. Oh, we're looking amazing, ladies.
Ooh, we're looking fabulous.
We look so good. Yes. So Jennifer says, "Hey, so stress is also." Oh. She said, "Hey, so stress is also classified." I have to change my accent. Hey, so stress is also classified as a mental health issue. Yes, Jennifer.
It is.
Stress is a mental health
Yeah,
issue.
and anger.
Doree Apparels London says, "Awesome. I love her. I model for her. Thank you for tuning in." Nee. This is I don't know how to say this. Nee's gonna kill me. Okay, I'm not good with the gun name. So Nee says, "Good show. Thank you, Nee, for tuning in." Sonia said, "I believe it takes the grace of God to maintain a sound mind with this crazy world that we live in." It's so true. It's been very crazy, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So let me go back to us, our therapy session. Yeah. So yes, the reason I asked you the last question, because I wanted to go into youth, because both of you work with youth.
Yeah.
And as we've been discussing, this whole pandemic, COVID-19 lockdown has really affected the youth. I was watching the BBC News today, and a lady called in anonymously and said that her son has been physically abusing her, and I was like,
Wow.
abusing me.
Wow.
Imagine if my son hit me. Like, sorry to say, I don't know where he would be. But, you know, to be honest, a lot of children, you know, have bad tempers.
Yeah.
And
It's
being
a lot
in
more
this,
common than you think, actually.
yeah, and being in an environment where they're not allowed to go and see their friends, they're not allowed to go to school, especially those that like to loiter on the streets and all that kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Are locked in the house with their parents. Maybe, you know, she was I don't know, because she was anonymous. And this was on the BBC News, so it's deep, you know. And I was like, I never thought of that, you know, because it's never
You always
happened
think
to
of adult domestic violence.
yeah, but I never
actually
thought
there
of
is
like
children
that abuse their
It's
parents.
a lot more than you think.
You know, and yes, in terms of verbally abusing, I used to have those verbal abusing matches with my mum all the time. So that one I understand.
Of course.
But physically abusing your mum, come on, like, and she was crying and in tears. And I just
It
thought to
happens a
myself
lot.
that this is.
It happens a lot.
And remember, in the beginning of lockdown, also there was a raise in domestic abuse, domestic violence within the home. So a lot of women were getting abused more. Even men were getting abused. But today, hearing that, you know, a child was abusing their parent, you're the therapist. So I mean, have you heard of these kind of things?
I worked in the youth offending team for about altogether, I'd say about 8 years, and I saw a lot of that. A lot of it. Young boys in particular, I don't want to stigmatize, but a lot of the times it was single parents. Mother was raising him. He was at one point down here. Now he's towering over her, you know, and he knows he's stronger than her now. So he takes advantage of that. And I saw it on numerous occasions. Like I tell you, no lie, Eva, like lots and lots and lots and lots of times that a parent would be petrified of their child.
I have seen that.
Shaking.
I have seen like that, but I mean physically abusing, obviously I don't know. But yeah, I know about those things, you know. And you know, it's like you said, single parent home is not easy, and you have to be a mother and a father. I'm like militant in my house.
Wow.
You know, like people think I'm all soft, but in my house I'm like, it's like army. And when my son tries it, like I discipline him. And now he's like all big and tall, all hovering all over me. I'm like, listen.
You do have to have that kind of really stern approach, I think. I remember when I worked in the youth offending team, one of the police women, she came in and she said to us, her son tried to hit her. He tried to hit her. And obviously because she had her police training, she put him down on the floor and sat on him, you know, in order to kind of restrain him. But it was like at that point, that's when the levels was drawn, like the line was drawn that you are not going to get away with that. And I think that with children, they need to know their boundaries. You need to be very, very clear about boundaries, regardless of whether they're growing and their voice is shaking. No, I'm still the mother. I am still the mother. Don't ever let them forget that.
So what mechanisms can we put in place, or for people that are watching, like to avoid these, like the times that we're in, especially where the children are so stressed at home? You know, you're the therapist. You are the therapist.
You're the therapist.
You're the therapist. So it's like, what can we?
One of the things.
What tips or advice can you give us to
space? You see, a lot of parents sometimes they deal with their children like they're in this kind of relationship that is not mother and son, or it's like it's kind of borderline boyfriend and girlfriend or husband and wife. That they're number one, that's an issue. Another problem is the fact that we are the parent, we are the mother, but this is still an individual. This is still an individual.
And you're so right, because my daughter said, can you just give me space?
Absolutely.
Can you just...
Absolutely.
And I get, it hurts me, but then I'm like, you know what she's telling me, can you give me space? Don't talk, like, please, can you give me space? And then I'm shouting, and she's like, can you give me space, please? Like, because she knows her temper too is coming. So she's like, please, give me space. And I'm like, wow, this small girl, she's talking to me like that. I gave birth to her. So then I remember how my mum used to think. When I used to say to I remember I was 16 and my mum slapped me. And I said to her, don't you ever slap me again.
Wow.
And the way she looked at me, you know, like, my mum's hard, proper Shanti Ghanaian woman. She was like, okay.
Excuse me.
She
went okay.
Yeah, because I'd never spoken to her like that. But that one slap, I was like, nah, I'm 16, you know. And I said, don't ever slap me again. Just don't do it.
That was it.
And that was enough, like she never did it again, you know. Wow. So that was her like thinking, okay, let me listen to this girl.
And I like that.
So you're right about the space.
That. So give them their space. My children, even the 9-year-old, he will go into his room and he will put something behind the door. And I will say,
doesn't want you to.
I'll say, Josiah, why you? No, mum, I need my space. And he will tell you. My kids are very vocal, and he will say to you, I just want my space. And it's like, okay, do you know what I mean? So respecting that. He's a 9-year-old. In my household, when I was younger, at the age of 9, I could never tell my mum I want space. In which house? Where? One dirty slap in your face, you will find space. You will be in space, you know. But our kids are changing, they're evolving.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean?
whole world
And we
is
need to
evolving, so
kind
we
of
need to
evolve with
understand.
them and change with
kids.
them, and you know.
Yeah, definitely. So
So
let's go into your business, your consultancy base.
Yes.
Because
So-
I think we've spoken a lot
Oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
about personal situations, how we've dealt with the lockdown, you know, how we're going to transition, what we're going to do. You've
Yeah.
given us a bit of advice on that. We've spoken about education, which I think is one of the most popular topics that's been on the news during this whole pandemic, is about school, you know, homeschooling, how it's affecting children, all that stuff as mothers, business women, how it's affected, you know, I don't think we spoke about how it's affected our businesses, because I missed that one question, which I really wanted to ask you, is how has it affected your consultancy, and how did you diverse in order to still provide services for people during the time
So Bays,
and now?
Bays initially came up on last October.
Okay.
So in terms of our portfolio into the clientele, it's not that huge, but we were looking to obviously expand during the summer. So COVID has really affected us. As an educator, because I work with the year 12 and the year 13s and teaching business studies, the kids really ask me, "Oh, miss, so how come you didn't have a business?" This was like a couple of years ago. I'm thinking, "Oh, I didn't know what to do. I don't know how to do hair. I can't, open restaurants, that sort of thing." So I thought, okay, these kids have really given me homework challenge. So I thought, okay, I'll think about something. And just one night, I thought, you know what is right in front of me, and I didn't know it. And so, officially, I just came up with Base. So the kids are really interested in starting up businesses. With these young people, we've got kids building applications online. We've got kids, artists. We've got little kids, some kids doing coaching, football. There's loads of things that, these young people can do. So I thought, okay, why not just, tutor them through, what is expected, what they need to do.
In terms of registration?
Yeah,
all that kind of
registration,
stuff.
starting up with their ideas,
Yeah.
brainstorming ideas, what sort of entrepreneur do they want to become, do they want to do partnerships, do they want to become a sole trader, what sort of marketing strategies would they use depending on the product or service that you want to provide. So it was simple as that, and the response has been really huge.
So since October, has any of your clients started a business? And if they did, has anybody come to you in terms of, okay, what do I do now in this season? I'm not able to...
So at this moment, there's a bit of halt because of the
Okay.
COVID, because obviously, like financial referrals, it took a while for us to get to the bank, to meet people, for investors, to meet as a group to do seminars. So everything's been done online due to the COVID. So what's happening online right now is registering people, trying to do a few consultation so that we can diagnose the areas that they want to do. So we've got seminars coming up in September where we're actually going to meet and tutor people through it. So it's a huge response. That's why I'm carry on promoting to get our community to change. Because obviously with the Asians, they're all set up. The Turkish in our area, you know how it is. So our community needs to change. And that's why I had that vision to start something, and I'm sure
And
you're
it's
going to
funny
help
how
me.
all this has happened, and the Black Lives Matter movement has happened as well. And it's making us look at us. It's like we're waking up.
Waking up.
And realizing, because that murder has triggered so many things.
A lot of things. They've really seen that they're really talented kids within our midst. They've got a lot of vision. They're messing about, which they shouldn't be messing about. I really, really want to target our young people. Even the parents need to know that your child is special. They've got a gift. Everybody was born with a gift, whether you know it or not. As you obviously, you know how to, get people to talk about their issues and they heal with them. That's your gift. So, you know.
As you was even speaking, I was thinking, when we finish, I'll give you my husband's details because he's a business consultant as well, and he works with young people. So there's some work that you could do together, and it would be powerful.
Oh,
I'm
fabulous.
telling you, so we'll
Anti-bless
definitely
already.
speak afterwards.
So that's the plan. It's going very well. I can't even get the time to pick up the phone because I'm doing my distance learning now, my school job, my full-time job, I should say. And this after I teach, I don't have the time of the day because people really want to sign up. So I am blessed that at least, you know, supporting our community.
So what's the most common question you get asked as an educator in this season? What is, you know, friends, family, whoever, what are, you know, the most common questions that come up?
So they say, the most common one is, I want to start a business, but they're not sure what they want to do. So obviously I have to diagnose what you're good at. So having that relationship and rapport with the kids is really key at this stage. So I'll say that's probably stage one. Just try to find, because we can't just pick up anybody, because you probably have loads of interests. What are you really good at? So we need to drill to that and then work with it. So initially now we're getting all these calls. They want to sign up, and then we'll have that chat. There's myself. It's not just me, and my colleague, marketing teacher. She deals with the marketing side. And there's two of us. Another lady deals with the business side. So we're just trying at the moment to find a location, mentor them through step by step, diagnose the mind map. What business are you interested in? Do you see what I mean? Like a teaching sort of role.
Absolutely.
So that they can interact with one another and then get through it. Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
It's very interesting.
I always get excited.
Bringing the classroom outside to the home.
Yeah. So Jumi, as a therapist, what has been the most like common questions, or like what kind of services have people been seeking from you in this time? What's the most common?
I think the biggest issue
because
is social media.
Okay, because you are self-employed as a therapist.
I'm an independent
You're an independent therapist. So
the biggest issue has been pressure. And it's so crazy because you would think that this is a time where there isn't pressure, right? Because we're all at home. But it's almost like there's been a different kind of pressure. People on social media, remember when it all started, when people were saying things like, you know, if you don't come out of this with a hustle, then you're a waste man. Maybe not in those words.
I understand what you're talking about.
But you get what I'm trying to say. And then it started making people think.
Like everyone's going hard, especially the millennials and the younger ones. They're going really hard.
A lot of, and for me, I just said to people, do you know what? Just be still. Be still. You know, just kind of just chill. Be still. You know, and just allow this whole process. Stop putting so much pressure on yourself.
Exactly.
You had pressure when COVID wasn't here. Now there's this different type of pressure. Just chill.
Just chill. Enjoy life.
Chill.
So when you're feeling overwhelmed and you're feeling anxious,
meditate. I meditate. I love meditating.
Nice.
Yeah. My kids meditate. So meditate, chill, relax. You know what I mean? Put some music on. Music is such a positive way.
Okay, sorry, we've got to hurry up. So let's talk about your book quickly. Before we end the show, because we've had a good time here, guys. But so Jumi's now an author, and she's bought her book, and she's going to tell us quickly what her book is about, and why she wrote this book.
So this book is called Permission to Shine. It's a very personal story. There's lots of personal stories in here. So it's about me.
It's all about you.
There's stuff in here that's about me and my early childhood, my traumas as a child, and how those traumas affected me as an adult. And most importantly, how I overcame those traumas. So there's lots of skills in here. There's lots of strategies in here. There's lots of declarations. So each page, each like section, it has declarations that you can repeat. You know, it's a very powerful book, and I'm not just saying that because it's me, because it's kind of a book that teaches you how to navigate trials and tribulations in your life, and not to let it overtake you.
So where can people buy the book? How can people find you on social media?
So you can find me on Pearls of Wisdom, on Instagram at Pearls of Wisdom _. The book can be purchased on Amazon, and it can also be purchased on our website as well, which is pearlsofwisdom.org.uk. So that's it.
And what have you learned about yourself during this season?
This
I'm tired of
season,
saying COVID and lockdown.
What I've told everybody else, that mommy needs to pause as well, and I need to be still as well. Of
course.
So that's the biggest lesson for me.
And Jackie, where can we find you on social media?
Oh my goodness. So on Instagram it's base.jackie, so it's JACQUI. The website is becomeasuccess.co.uk.
And that's what BASE stands for?
That's what it's done.
Yes, it's become a successful entrepreneur. So it's
Okay.
base. And the email is info@becomeasuccess.co.uk.
Lovely.
Contact us if you've got any ideas, any gifts, any vision, and we will turn that vision into a reality.
Yes.
We want to change our community, and that's the key. We need to start from somewhere.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's been so amazing having you on the show. And what have you learned about yourself?
I've
during the
learned
season?
that I need to enjoy the moment. I didn't know how I go up in the morning and rush to work and come back. I just want to take each day as it is. I'm not going to be rushing anymore.
Okay.
Scrutinize those, invitations that you said.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be there out there again. All my party buddies, no more. Sorry. Stop messaging.
Thank you so much for joining me on my first show after 3 months. It was a bit of a rocky start, but we got into it and we've spoken about so much things. And just thank you for being honest
Sure.
and open about your journeys through this season.
Sure.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you guys for watching. Remember, this show is powered by Omega House Multimedia Company. You can find them on West Green Road, which is right next door to Uncle John's Bakery, for all your multimedia needs. If you would like to advertise or sponsor this show, email me at GoalDiggersOnline.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back in 2 weeks' time because now Gold Diggers is on fortnightly. So I'll be back on the 6th of July with an amazing guest. He's called King of Trainers, and if you have young children, they will know about him. He is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So yeah, tune in on the 6th of July?
Yeah.
6th of July.
Yeah.
On Omega Live TV. Don't forget to like, subscribe on our YouTube page, Omega Live TV, and share. Continue to share this show so people can